look at high school football scores and highlights from across the valley with Mo Carter and Hannah Oliveto. This is First Down Friday night on WZDX. Sponsored by Northeast Alabama Community College and Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits.
Hey everyone, the high school football season is quickly moving into a crucial part of the year as reason play takes shape. Good evening, I'm Mo Carter. That's the lovely Hannah Oliveto.
Some of our local teams have taken early leads in their region standings while others are trying to climb back into the mix.
You're right, that's certainly the case in Class 4A Region at 7. Tonight we'll pick things up with Madison Academy and Westminster Christian. Of course, Madison Academy and Westminster are actually two of the 4 teams that reside in second place in the region. Early on, Madison Academy getting the passing game going. Their quarterback Luke Nail going across the middle to Evan Craighead for a first down. Later, the passing game works again. Nail goes up top to Sam Shepard, and he hauls it in the back of the end zone. Referee says it's a touchdown. Mustangs go up 7-0. Now on the next MA drive, that'll set up this, a 48-yard field goal. It goes up, and guess what, everybody? It is money. That is good from 48 yards out. Credit Sean Dorney for that field goal right there. 10-0 at that point. Let's check out your final score, everyone, as Madison Academy cruises to a victory over Westminster Christian. Next week, Westminster takes on Hayden, while Madison Academy takes on Tanner. Remember, that Tanner game's going to be on a Thursday. All right, Randolph, they're another one of those 4 teams that's tied for second in that region. They hosted Madison County, the first place team in the region tonight. Early on, quarterback Jeffrey Copeland calls his own numbers and picks up a first down for the Randolph Raiders. Then Sam Kimmel breaks loose, picks up big yardage down the field. They drove 76 yards on this drive but came away with no points on offense. But how about the defense? Madison County's quarterback is intercepted by Kimball, and Hannah, you've heard me say this once before. Number 1 is fun, so he's taking it back for a touchdown. 7-0. Randolph on top. Now Madison County setting up for a field goal, but guess what? It's mishandled, and Robert Kinshaw gets in. He'll be credited for the stop or the sack or whatever they do right there on special teams. Later on, Madison County trying to get something going, but it just does not work out right here. They were down 17-0 at the half. Let's check out your final score as Randolph goes on to knock down Madison County by a final score of 17-14. Madison County's got Guntersville next week, while Randolph takes on Ardmore.
In 4A Region 8, Deshler is competing for the top spot, and tonight the Tigers are at Priceville, who is struggling right now in last place. Deshler's defense is a big part of their success this season, but the Bulldogs are giving up almost 50 points per game. We start in the middle of the first, and Deshler's on the move. Channing Merriman takes the snap and finds Samuel Allman in the end zone to put the Tigers up 7-0. Later, Deshler would get the ball back, but the Bulldogs would regroup as Ethan White comes up with the interception there to stop the Tigers from adding to their lead. But Priceville's offense failed to get a first down in the first quarter, and Deshler's Jacoby Ballou gets the ball at the end of the quarter, and he takes it into the end zone here to put the Tigers up 14-0. And Deshler goes on to win by a final score of 48-10. Next week, Deshler will play at Colbert County, and Priceville hosts Fairview.
You got to love those long bus rides when you get a W on a night like this.
Definitely makes it worth it. Okay, Florence at Athens tonight. The Falcons need a win tonight to stay relevant in the playoff race in 6A Region 8. In the first, Florence is up 3-0 when Bradley Doran hands it to Ryan Malone, and he is gone, taking it all the way down to the 4-yard line. And that run leads to this. Doran hands it off to Malone, and he gets it in this time for the touchdown. Florence goes up by 10. In the second, Athens, Bryson Kirk throws it to James Stevens, and the catch is good for the first down. On the next play, Kirk hands it to Keandre Jones here, and he throws it to Logan Smothers, who takes it to the house, putting Athens on the board. And the Golden Eagles go on to win 28-24. Next week, Florence will host Bob Jones, and Athens will play at East Limestone.
All right, everyone, don't forget, we're always on social media at Mo Carter WZDX and at Hannah WZDX. Since this week, we might read it out later on air. Now, when we return, we're going to check in with #1 ranked Austin. They played host tonight to Columbia. Will they run away with a victory? Hey, we got the answer for you when we return. Stay with us. And welcome back, our good friends, and also thank you for tuning in to another edition of First Down Friday Night. It's now time for Spirit of the Week. It is sponsored by the wonderful folks at Bojangles, who always keep us fed each and every week. Right, Anna?
Of course, Mo. And this week, our Spirit of the Week goes out to the West Morgan Marching Band.
Of course, now, West Morgan, their band has been led by Tim Clinton for 28 years. Talk about longevity, and they've had countless awards. Recently, they won the Best in Class in the Tennessee Invitational, and right now, they're getting ready to host the Dixie Pride on September the 30th. It's a competition with over 15 bands from Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Georgia. Congrats to the Rebels Band for being our Spirit of the Week. I'll send it back over to you, Hannah.
The top-ranked Austin Black Bears have been dominating in 6A, and that's bad news for Columbia tonight, who is on a 15-game losing streak right now. Austin has one of the most explosive offenses in the state, with a running back duo that is hard to slow down. Antonio Robinson and Asa Martin combined for over 300 yards a game. And Austin is up 21-0 in the first, and Robinson scored every one of those touchdowns. At the start of the second, Columbia's punt is blocked, and Drew Maddox scoops it up. And on the next play, Paxton Montgomery runs it out and finds Joe Moses in the corner of the end zone. They go up 28-0, and there is Montgomery on the move there. A few plays later, he hands it off to Robinson, and he takes it in, no problem, for his fourth touchdown of the night there. Austin is just unstoppable, and Austin goes on to win 56-0. Next week, Columbia will host Huntsville, and Austin has a bye week. To Decatur Heritage, hosting R.A. Hubbard tonight, the Eagles are an early contender for a playoff spot, while the Chiefs are fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive. On the opening kickoff, the Chiefs are in trouble. Otis Robinson can't secure the ball here, and the Eagles recover. On the next play, Nathan Ladner hands it off to Colton Keith, and he runs it in for the touchdown. The extra point, though, is no good, so the score stays 6-0. And on the kickoff, you won't believe it, the same thing happens again. The ball is rolling.
Are you kidding me?
Once again here, Carson Soley is able to fall on it there. So it's the Eagles' ball once again, but R.A. Hubbard would hold them out of the end zone on fourth down. Jeff Hunter gets a hand on it but can't make the catch, so they turn it over to the Chiefs. But Decatur Heritage goes on to win at 28-0. Next week, R.A. Hubbard will play at Woodville, and Decatur Heritage hosts Shoals Christian.
That's a good win for Decatur Heritage on tonight. Now, moving up to Class 7A, Sparkman and James Clemens, they hooked up tonight in Madison. Both squads suffered heartbreaking 3-point losses last week in region play. Someone needed a win tonight in order to stay in the region race and make it to the 7A playoff. The game was very, very slow. We picked things up in the third quarter, and it is scoreless. All right, so here we go. Connor Cantrell rolling out, looking for a man, but he takes too long to make a decision, and he's intercepted by Dale Pettis. And look, Hannah, Pettis does not want to go down. He's running by people, trying to break tackles, runs into the referee, fumbles the ball, but eventually he scoops it right back up, and Sparkman is in business. Now later, the Sparkman Senators will be facing 4th and short. Quarterback Devin Kimbrough under center. Watch this. He'll toss it to his running back. However, his running back runs out of real estate, and James Clemens' defense stops him cold. The Jets take over near midfield. But the Jets go 3 and out, so they're forced to punt. And for the second week in a row, we've seen a special teams play involving James Clemens, except this doesn't go their way. Cyrus Lewis comes up with the block, and then number 17 takes it to the house for a touchdown. That kind of opened the game up right there, making it 7-0. Let's check out your final score as Sparkman gains the victory over James Clemens by a final of 20-6. Next week, Sparkman takes on Hazel Green, while James Clemens will take on a tough battle against Clay Chalkville. All right, last night, the Huntsville Bob Jones game was a tale of two halves. Now, the Huntsville defense, they played well last night, As you'll see early on here, Bob Jones quarterback Caden Rose steps back to pass. It's batted, intercepted by Jack Krager of the Huntsville Panthers, and the Panthers have the ball going the other way. Now later, the Panthers go to work. Their quarterback Jackson Glover, all the time in the world, finally finds Zach Strange for a first down inside the 10-yard line. That would lead to this. They've got Stoney Patton. We've called Stoney Patton's name many times this year. We're going to call it again. Watch him churn his legs across the goal line for a touchdown. Shows that he's been in the weight room during the summer. Huntsville goes up 7-0. Later, Bob Jones facing a 4th and short. Jalen Williams runs out of real estate as he tackled for a loss by Eli Morrow. Huntsville led 7-0 at the break, but Bob Jones bolts their way back. Check out your final score as they scored 34 second-half points and go on to win 34-20. Next week, Bob Jones plays Florence, while Huntsville will take on Inner City foe Columbia.
We have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we have a rivalry showdown in Scottsboro and much more. Stay with us.
If you've got a score from your favorite team, send it to us right now. Let's get back to the highlights on First Down Friday night on WZDX.
Welcome back. We already had a rivalry week, but this rivalry was recently renewed. It dates back all the way to 1914, and they face off again tonight.
All right, we are talking about Guntersville and Scottsboro. Let's take you out to the eastern part of the viewing area for all the action. Last year, the Wildcats won in the first meeting since 2007. On the second play of the game, Scottsboro misses the snap count or something happens. Charlie Warren hikes the ball, but Nicholas Metz isn't paying attention. It's recovered by Jacob Stansel of Guntersville near the goal line. But the fans in Scottsboro, they're still full of high spirits. They're trying to keep their team in it. But after that recovery, it's an easy 7 for Kai Capalupo on this very first score as he throws his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Guntersville goes up 7-0, even though I'm waiting for the referee to go ahead and put his hands up. But they did say it was a touchdown, everybody. So Scottsboro, they were turning over again. In Guntersville, they're on the move. The quarterback, Jacob Wisner, passes it to Shrun Williamson. And watch Mr. Williamson make some nifty moves and then kind of just outruns the defense on the way to the end zone for a touchdown. It was 14-0 Guntersville at that point. Let's check out your final score as, wow, I'm shocked by this one. Guntersville goes on to win 45-0 over Scottsboro. Guntersville will actually take on Madison County next week. Scottsboro, they'll take on those Indians from North Jackson.
A big win for Guntersville.
Absolutely.
Last night at Milton Frank, Lee took on East Limestone. Lee is 3-1 on the season and trying to add a 4th win. But early in the game, East Limestone's Andrew Parris hands it off to Niall Foss, and he is gone. He takes it all the way to the house, putting the Indians on the board. Still in the first, it's Lee's turn. Noah Watkins hands it off to Avarius Lewis, and he gets past not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Indians before he is brought down. He made it 29 yards, though, so that's a pretty good. And one snap later, and Watkins throws it to Christopher Reed, and he runs it into the end zone, putting the Generals on the board. So we are all tied up at 7. In the second quarter now, Watkins hands it off to Cordarius Cox, and he dives in for the touchdown.
And he took the pylon out at the same time, so you know that's a touchdown, everybody.
Exactly. Let's go to the final. Lee goes on to win 35-7. Next week, East Limestone will host Athens, and Lee will host Decatur. To our ETV game tonight, Mae Jemison taking on Russellville. The Jaguars defense has only allowed 7 points the past 3 weeks, while the Golden Tigers have only scored 9 points all season. But in the first, Luke Barnwell's pass is caught by Bernard Finazzi, and he takes it all the way to the end zone to give Russellville the early lead. Later, Damon Eason fakes the handoff and picks up the first down before being taken down. And a few plays later, he hangs onto it again, this time for the 1-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars run away with the game after this. They go on to win 56-10. Next week, Russellville will play at Hartselle, and Mae Jemison will play at Buckhorn.
All right, another big win for Mae Jemison. I definitely know they will move up in the rankings. You know, they're ranked in the Class 5A top 10 right now, so So, yeah, they're definitely going to move up in that one. Hey, we got another score to tell you about. Gaston City blanking Grissom tonight, 19-0. Grissom, they've got a bye week next week. Gadsden City, they'll take on Port Crossing, an up-and-coming school out of Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to tell y'all about our First Down Friday night MVP of the week, and what a week he had.
Yeah, this week it goes out to West Morgan's Isaac Hughley. In the Rebels game last week against Colbertites, Hughley ran for 308 yards on 27 carries and 3 touchdowns. As a junior, he had to sit out on Friday nights because of his grades. They made him ineligible to play, but he still went to practice every single day. So this season is a complete turnaround for him, and he couldn't be happier to be back on the field.
I was just doing it for my team, you know, my teammates and the offensive linemen for believing in me, my coaches for putting me on the field and having the faith in me to do that. So,
you know, he's progressed every day. Very hardworking kid, and you know, Isaac's been through a lot, and very proud of where he is as a senior and the leadership that he showed as a senior.
If you think you know an athlete that is deserving of our First Down Friday Night MVP award, just send us an email at firstdownmvp@rocketcitynow.com with the player's name, school, positions, and the most important thing of all,
Stats!
Yes, from the last week's game. The winner will be announced every Wednesday night, and then we'll give him a little showcase right here on Friday nights with First Down Friday Night. That'll wrap up the high school portion of everything for tonight. Conference play, you know, it's underway starting tomorrow in both the SEC and the SWAC on the collegiate level. We've got those previews coming up next right here on WZDX.
It's Friday night, and the action is right here on WZDX. First Down Friday Night.
And welcome back, good folks. All right, we've got some more scores to tell you about from week 4. Pell City knocks off Brewer 31-29, while Hazel Green scores a 3-point victory over Decatur.
And Muscle Shoals takes down Hartsville tonight 21-7, and Arab beats Boaz 46-24.
All right, some other scores to tell you about. DAR scoring a 55-0 win over New Hope, while Sardis, man, watch out for Sardis, everybody. They knock off North Jackson 19-13 tonight.
And Elkmont beats East Lawrence tonight 40-12, while Mars Hill takes down Sheffield 21-13. All right, let's get to some college action. It's an exciting week in college football, Mo.
Absolutely, especially in the SEC and the SWAC because conference play is beginning. We'll start things off up the road in Nashville. The Crimson Tide prepare for their SEC opener against Vanderbilt, and Nick Saban, he's preaching to his team about not being overconfident as they get ready for the Vanderbilt Commodores. The Commodores are 3-0 and scored a 7-point victory over previously ranked Kansas State last week, and they also feature a quarterback, Kyle Shermer, the SEC leader in passing efficiency. Minka Fitzpatrick and company, they've taken notice.
This game is going to be about one who's going to be the more physical team in the box, and then just being disciplined and doing what we're supposed to do.
You know, anytime that you play teams of this caliber, man, you're going to get great offense, great defense, and great special teams. And so for us, it's going to be about, you know, matching intensity, being able to play hard, be physical, making sure, man, that we can get to deep water and let's play good football.
Auburn is opening up conference play at Missouri. The Tigers starting quarterback Jarrett Stidham completed 32 of 37 passes in their homecoming win over Mercer. And offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey expects him to keep getting better. Plus, the return of Kerryon Johnson, who has missed 2 games with an injury, will be big for Auburn tomorrow.
The Alabama A&M Bulldogs kicking off SWAC play and their home schedule with Texas Southern tomorrow night in the Lewis Cruz Classic. Texas Southern enters Saturday's game like Alabama A&M, winless after falling to Florida A&M and Houston Baptist. Coach James Spady and company have taken some licks in their first 3 games, which were all lost, but now they're ready to get some W's under their belt, starting with TSU, and Spady has said this is a must-win.
The Jacksonville State Gamecocks are coming off a bye week, so they are ready for their first home game. They host Liberty tomorrow. The Flames upset Baylor in their opening game and are now 3-0, while JSU is coming off a loss to Georgia Tech. But head coach John Gross likes to open the season against tough opponents.
And finally, UNA and West Alabama, they've met 70 times on the football field, and this weekend could be the most important one of all. Both of them are 1-0 in conference play, and to the victor will get the upper hand in the GSD standings. All right, we're just about out of time for Week 4 First Down Friday Night. That's Hannah Alavito. I'm Mo Carter. Look, we'll see you right here next week on WZDX.